CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, the Los Angeles Rams against the Atlanta Falcons.
The crowd reaction here in Atlanta has been quite good, to tell you the truth, and it's nice to be back covering football once again in the NFL. The temperature is in the 60s. We've had a couple of days of rain, but the field had been covered, and the playing conditions are just right for the game this afternoon. We start the new season. They'll end up playing a total of 9 games, and as we look at the standings in the National Football Conference, we see Green Bay, Washington, and Detroit on top with a record of 2-0 and Atlanta 1-1. I'm surprised that some people think that a record of 4-5 will make the playoffs. 8 teams from this conference, the NFC, will qualify for postseason play. You see, the Rams are 0-2, and they had better get started here this afternoon. I'm Jack Buck, and alongside Hank Stram. Hank, it's nice to be back together, and you've been coaching for a long, long time. What do you think after the long layoff? Yay or nay? Good or bad?
Good. I really think, Jack, that most teams are going to play a lot better than people anticipate they're going to play. I think one of the most important things in the game, all over the country today, will be the substitution factor. I think each individual coach has to watch his group very, very carefully to make sure that fatigue doesn't set in and substitute as freely as they have to. But I think that will be one of the very important keys in the outcome of these games today.
You think there will be any lingering animosity now that the strike is over? That's in quotes.
No, I really don't think so. I think from what we've seen of the practice sessions here and talking to the other coaches around the country, I think that they're all very eager to play, and they're all very eager to get paid, I should say, and not necessarily in that order, but I think that's really the feeling that prevails around the National Football League here today.
The Los Angeles Rams have won the toss, and they want the football. And the ball will be kicked off by Mick Luckhurst of Atlanta. Back to get it is Barry Redden, the rookie out of Richmond. And we're getting ready to go. We have quite a few empty seats. This game was sold out, but we'll have to wait and see after the fans all settle in just how many will be absent here this afternoon. Luckhurst boots a knuckleball, and it goes into and out of the end zone. It's a touchback. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. The ball barely got past the corner marker down there, and it will come out to the 20-yard line. Bert Jones will be starting at quarterback for the Rams. Wendell Tyler, Mike Gooman in the backfield with him. Willie Miller and Preston Denard are the wide receivers. The tight end, Mike Barber. And on the offensive line, which is a good one, Irv Pankey, Kent Hill, Doug Smith, Dennis Hara, and Jackie Slater. Wendell Tyler, of course, the big workhorse in the backfield of the Rams, who are 0-2. They lost to Green Bay. They lost to Detroit. Now they're playing a team which is in their division.
I think they're going to start right off running to their left here. Here they come.
Here they come with the big running back, Mike Gooman, and he was swarmed under by Atlanta. Swarmed under by the Falcons, and down at the bottom of the pile was Kuykendall. Jeff Yates, Don Smith, Jeff Merrow up front. They play the 3-man front, but they will go into a 4. The linebackers, Richardson, Kuykendall, Buddy Curry, he is really active, and Joel Williams, perhaps their best athlete. Bobby Butler, Kenny Johnson, Bob Glazebrook, and Tom Pridemore are the deep backs for the home-standing Atlanta team. A gain of a yard on the previous play, 2nd down and 9 for the Rams. So Jones goes to the air and swings it out, and it is caught for substantial yards by the wide receiver, Willie Miller. Bobby Butler was there covering on the corner, and brother, do they pick on Mr. Butler.
Well, Mr. Butler that time was playing very far off that time, and they very wisely threw in front of to take advantage of Butler. Willie Miller just ran a square-out pattern, caught the ball with a lot of room, a big cushion, and make a nice gain on the play.
3rd down and 1 as a result. And they take out Denard, the wide receiver. Gooman is in the backfield. The 2 tight ends, Ron Battle and Mike Barber. 3rd down and 1. Goal line defense for the Falcons.
Looks like something left.
Motion by Tyler. A toss to Gooman, and he gets the first down. And a few more down the sideline, and he crosses the 35-yard line. And he comes out to the 38 for the first down. Buddy Curry chased him out, and Bobby Butler is there.
They sent him back in motion, and then Gooman gets the ball on a pitch to the right side. Number 44 gets a good block from Wendell Tyler, and he breaks to the outside with the ball in the wrong arm. He has no protection whatsoever, but they knock him out of bounds. And here's a good picture of Ray Malavasi. Had a nice visit with Ray yesterday, and he feels very optimistic about his team's chances the rest of the way in the National Football League.
Well, they've beaten the Falcons 3 times in a row. They have their number. First down at the 38 on a pass play by Bert Jones. Boy, and that one's broken up. That ball almost picked off by the linebacker Curry. And it's a good thing that Jones had as much velocity on that ball as he did. Otherwise, Curry would have walked away with it.
Yes, he had to dive to try to make that interception. Had he been able to be stationary, he probably would have just sucked it right up and made that interception.
Bert Jones, long time of the Baltimore Colts, and you see his record, 53%, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and he has been sacked 5 times in the first 2 games that the Rams have played. Second down and 10 from their own 38. Denard is to the left and Miller to the right. Jones to Wendell Tyler. He cuts it back and moves out to the 45-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Al Richardson, the tackle.
You know, in a game like this one, after such a long layoff, Jack, people ask, is it better for the passing game or is it better for the running game? Talking to the coaches, they both seem to think that it would be a lot easier to run the ball than it would be to pass it because the timing and precision of the passing game demands a lot of time and attention. Here's Lehman Bennett. We had a nice visit with Lehman, and he feels very much the same way as Ray Malavasi. Very optimistic about his team from here on in.
He said he's going to play it straight on defense today. He's not going to do a lot of blitzing as the Falcons usually do. 3rd and 4 here. Jones has to hit on this one. And he's going to run, and he'll make it. He'll get the first down. He slid across midfield. He knew precisely where he had to go, and he went to the Atlanta 48-yard line with Joel Williams taking him down.
Here we see Bert Jones going back into the pocket. A 3-man rush. Goes back into the pocket. Has time. It seems like he has time. Has to wait a little bit too long. There's pressure on the outside. The defensive end comes up the field a little bit too far. And for that reason, Yates comes up too far, runs inside, and makes the necessary yardage for the first down.
Is that a mistake on the part of that defensive end?
No, he has to rush tough to the outside, except the offensive tackle did a good job of rushing him, knocking him beyond the quarterback's position.
First down for the Rams, and a first down pass play, and this one is caught by Denard, but it's good for only about 3.5 yards. Very aggressive tackling by Atlanta, and that's typical of them. They'll have 4 or 5 men on top of the play when it's over. Kenny Johnson, the first one there.
Yeah, they respond very well to the thrown ball, and once a guy makes the catch, they make him pay dearly for that catch, and they swarm all over him. Here's a good example of it. He moves the pocket a little bit to his left to get closer to the receiver. Gets the ball right on the money in good shape. Johnson, number 37, comes up to make the tackle, but he makes a few yards on the play.
The ball is at the Atlanta 44. It is 2nd down and 6 for the Rams. They started at their 20. Miller's to the right, Denard to the left. Denard hasn't caught many passes here in the early going of the season. And there's Wendell Tyler, boy. He's got some blocking. He gets outside and gets another first down and spins down the sideline. And he gets good yards down near the 30, and the fans don't like the way the Rams are tearing up the Atlanta defense. Kenny Johnson there again.
Well, they did a good job of getting people out in front of the ball carrier. Tyler runs for 14 yards, but Tyler really does a good job of picking his way. Watch it. He's very careful not to overrun the interference. Hera is out in front, number 60. Gooman is out in front. He goes inside, bounces to the outside, runs through some traffic, goes into a pile, and comes out the other end. A great run, really, by Wendell Tyler.
And, of course, the long layoff allowed him to get healthy once more.
Right. He's good and fresh. He's a lot more fresh right now than he would be had he played 10 games.
Another first down, this one at the Atlanta 30. The Rams started at their 20. They're in the eye, and motion by Barber, the tight end, and a pass play on first down by Jones. And this one is caught just outside the 10. It'll be another first down, and a flag goes down. Denard not only was tackled, he was then evidently manhandled by Kenny Johnson, who was called for mugging.
Well, he was mugging. And Johnson got turned on the play. right on the money, right exactly where it had to be thrown.
And then Jim Tunney, the referee, after the 19-yard gain on the pass play, is going to mark off more yards than he does.
Personal foul, number 50, after the whistle. Half the distance to the goal line, first down.
That was Buddy Curry on the roughing call. Let's watch and see what he did.
Here again, there's a lot of room. You see all the room in front of Johnson. He gets turned to the inside. He breaks to the outside. The defensive back slips. So does Denard, but the ball was right on the money for the first down.
And then Curry piled on top of him. Here's a running play to Tyler. Touchdown. Boy, that didn't take the Rams long, did it? In about 4.5 minutes, they went from their 20-yard line on in for the score with Wendell Tyler going in, and that is his second touchdown of the year.
And Ken Hill, number 72, and Dennis Herra, the guards, right guard and left guard respectively, got on in front of the play in good shape. Watch the guards, 60 and 72. Beautiful job by both people. Tyler sees the cavity, jumps in there nicely, and makes the touchdown. And the Rams go ahead 6-0.
10 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. And the extra point try by Michael Lansford with Nolan Cromwell holding as they try to make it 7-0. It is good, and it is 7-0. And now Atlanta on the kickoff will get the ball for the first down, and they get a little booing from the crowd here. We have quite a few empty seats in Atlanta. Well, that tells the story. There were 5 first downs in that 80-yard drive, 10 plays, 4:27 time-wise, and Wendell Tyler with his second rushing touchdown of the year. Mike Lansford will kick it off, and the rookie Reggie Brown out of Oregon is back awaiting the kick, which is high, short, and it's going to be taken by Brown from the 10-yard line. He's to the 20. There's a flag down. Brown's out to the 37-yard line. There's a flag down, and that usually indicates a clip. Brown had averaged 20 yards per kickoff return previously. Mike Lansford stuck his nose in there and made the tackle.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did, or else possibly he might have gone all the way. Even though there's a flag on the play, you still have to make the play to make sure that you don't start officiating the game.
Bartkowski is the quarterback with Lynn Kane and William Andrews in the backfield. Alfred Jackson, Alfred Jenkins, the wide receivers. The line, which has been suspect this year, Junior Miller, the tight end, with Mike Ken, Pat Howell, Jeff Van Note, R.C. Thielman, and Warren Bryant. A penalty against Atlanta. Instead of having the ball at the 32, they have it back at the 10. So they have a long way to go. Bartkowski brings him out. Alfred Jackson goes to the left, and Alfred Jenkins will set up at the right side.
One thing about Atlanta, they came into the game with averaging 41 passes a game, 27 runs. They want to get better balance, but if they get behind in this game by many points, they're going to have to go right back to what they didn't want to do, and that's to throw the ball a lot.
Bartkowski sets him, and here comes Andrews, slanting out for about 3 yards over the left side. Lehman Bennett, when we talked to him yesterday, is determined that Atlanta is going to get out of the bad habit they had a while ago of throwing. Youngblood, Fanning, Jones, and Doss are up front for the Rams. Jim Youngblood, Carl Eckern, and George Andrews, the linebackers. The cornerbacks are Pat Thomas and Rod Perry and Johnny Johnson and Nolan Cromwell are the safety men. Jenkins is to the right side. It's 2nd down and 6. Out of the eye, tailback Kane makes a good cut, and he comes across the 15 out to the 17-yard line. Going to be 3rd down and about 3 with Cromwell and Johnson, the safety men, tackling him. An early score of another game. Tampa Bay ahead of Dallas. You remember how Dallas embarrassed Tampa Bay in the playoffs last year, and the Jets move ahead of Baltimore 7-0 in the first quarter. Jim Collins comes in. And Eckern is out of the middle linebacking spot for the Rams on 3rd down and 3. They're into the eye. Andrews, the tailback, and he gets it, and more. He's across the 25 for a first down. They put Andrews in the tailback spot that trip.
Yeah, he's great for many plays in the backfield. He's such a terrific runner, but here he comes. Good blocking at the point of attack, the left side, and Kane did a good job of blocking at the point of attack on a linebacker, and he popped through there for a big game. One thing that's interesting is that Atlanta hasn't played against any team so far this season in 6 games, counting preseason, that played an even spacing. Everything was an odd spacing. The Rams are using an even spacing most of the time on 1st and 10.
And on first down from the 33, Andrews gets very little this time. And you can tell from their early play calling that this is not ordinarily the character of this Atlanta team. Usually they come out throwing. Cody Jones and George Andrews, the tacklers. New Orleans ahead of Kansas City 3-0 in the first quarter. Field goal by Tony Frick.
One thing that the Rams do a good job, they still have the same personality that teams have used in the past, whereby they use a great variety of alignments, the triple stack alignment, the 4-3, the 5-3, and they have to, as a result, Atlanta has to change the play at the line of scrimmage.
We have the 5th defensive back in there for the Rams. Leroy Irvin is in. Here's Andrews trying to get outside. He breaks a few tackles and gets some good yards across the 30-yard line. Going to be 3rd and long for the Falcons, and Bartkowski might have to throw for the first time. Perry was the first one there for the Rams. We have 7:20 remaining in the first quarter. Clock running. Rams leading 7-0.
Jack, this is Georgia Frontieri's birthday, and we wish her a happy birthday, and I know the team sent her flowers, and they're going to try to win one for her this afternoon. I'm sure of that.
The Rams are on 2. They need a victory. It is 3rd down and 6. Bartkowski on the draw play, but it doesn't go. It doesn't go. It was well covered. And even there, they're staying on the ground, and the fans didn't like that call. The play was jammed up by Mr. Youngblood, Jack Youngblood, and Cody Jones. You don't fool Youngblood very often.
No, you really don't. And one thing that's very obvious, the Atlanta team really wants to run the ball because the Rams in the first 2 games gave up 4.1 per try on running.
Dave Smogelski is the new punter. And you saw his kicking average, almost 40 yards a kick. And Leroy Irvin, very dangerous, is back to get it. Irvin has averaged more than 18 yards per punt return. And now they're going to have to kick from 5 yards further deep. A little delay. Already, Hank, you don't like the way Atlanta is going. They tried to run and they couldn't. They tried to play it straight on defense and they didn't stop them. So they're headed for trouble. Let's listen to the referee.
30-second count. Still 4th down.
What happened, they tried to change their personality. They didn't blitz once in the long drive by the Los Angeles Rams, and we'll find that they will probably have to do that to get back into the personality as the game goes on.
Here's a bad kick by Smogelski. And they let the ball roll outside the Ram 40-yard line. Down to about the 41 as Irvin stayed away from it. What happened here is they got rid of John James, their regular punter. They took a chance on the rookie Smogelski, and so far, things haven't worked out. The Rams get the ball back. They have the lead. Maybe Ray Malavasi, he's got to feel pretty good about the way things are going, Engstrand.
And things went exactly the way he thought they might and talked they would when he talked to us last week.
They're playing it straight.
Yes, Lehman Bennett said they were going to try to play straight defensively. That's against their grain, against their personality. I really personally do not think they can stand up in that 3-man line and try to fight them off physically. The Rams are much bigger and stronger, and they'll blow them right off the line of scrimmage like they did in the first drive if they don't change and do some blitzing and change their alignment some.
Bernard is to the left and Miller to the right, and motioned by Mike Barber, the tight end. A first down pass play by Burt Jones. Has ample time, throws it short. It's good for only a couple of yards as it is caught. And Goon came out of the backfield to catch it for a couple of yards. How do you think the voting is going to go Tuesday when these two teams vote?
Coming into town on Friday, Jack, I sincerely felt that it would be an overwhelming plus for the contract as it is right now. Being here for 3 days, I think there's a lot of indecision as what the vote's going to be. I still think it's going to be positive, but there's a lot of negative reactions to the contract, and it'll be a lot closer than everybody thinks.
There's a lot of undercurrent. There certainly is. It's 2nd down and 7 from the 44. seen the Rams throw on first down numerous times. Here comes Wendell Tyler. He's in trouble. Uh-oh. Now he's not in so much trouble, he needs a block. And he gets some yards out of it and comes very close to a first down. And the players are strewn all over the field. He's short of a first down by a couple of yards, a yard and a half. Finally tackled by Kenny Johnson.
You can only do this from this formation, from the split backfield when you have great speed. Watch the pursuit. Look at all the red shirts. Then he stops. He would have lost yardage on the play, but he comes around the other way because he has great speed. He runs to the right side and gets a block out in front by Willie Miller. Breaks up inside and comes very close to making a first down.
Kenny Johnson chased the play down.
Yes.
And Leahy with a field goal, 10-0. The Jets over Baltimore in the first quarter. It is third down and a yard and a half. Here Jones going to pass. He throws long, it's wide open. And racing for a touchdown is Ron Battle. Ron Battle gets his first touchdown. The blitz was on Hank, and they thought of it, didn't they?
Yes, and he looked like he ran right out of the bleachers. Look at Malavasi on the sideline. He's full of happiness, and he should be. But he popped wide open. Watch it. Play action pay. Watch 81. He's on the wing back. He goes right down the middle. Nobody covers him. He has to wait for the ball. Makes the catch. Walks the dog right into the end zone, Jack. Touchdown, Los Angeles Rams.
That's what I call walking the dog. Well, he really had a nice time strolling on in.
Yes, he did.
It's 13-0. Now, you know what this brings to my mind is the lead they had against Green Bay. You remember that?
I think that they'll remember that very vividly, and I don't think you will see any kind of a let-up as this game goes along. They have to win this game to get back into the race.
Extra points good. It's 14-0 in favor of the Rams. They had a 5-yard run by Tyler, a 51-yard pass play to Ron Battle, and the fans don't like it here. Let's get another quick look at that touchdown.
Here we see it again, a play-action pass, faking to Tyler, and not a very good fake at all, but he saw him open and hurriedly got the ball downfield, which is very important. It was a good play on the part of Bert Jones. Had he worried about making a good fake, he might not have gotten the ball up into the air, but he did a great job. Touchdown Battle, 51 yards, and the Rams go ahead, 14-0.
Here's Lansford kicking off, and Reggie Brown is awaiting the kick. He'll return it from the goal line. 10 yards. 15, 20, 30, and did not get to the 35, but another good return for the rookie out of Oregon, the tackle by Johnny Johnson. The first game of the year, the Rams were ahead by the score of 23-0 against Green Bay and then lost 25-23. That last drive, 3 plays, 59 yards, 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the touchdown pass to the young man out of North Texas State. There's Lehman Bennett, the head coach of Atlanta.
And he's in a position where he didn't want to be. He didn't want to play catch-up football because he wanted to run the football a lot more than he did in the first 2 games of the season.
Right now, though, is a first down pass, and it's a screen. And it is caught by Andrews. It's a big gainer. It's out beyond midfield with William Andrews carrying the ball, and now the fans like it. Down into Los Angeles territory. A first down to the 48 on an 18-yard screen pass.
And George Andrews, number 52, the right linebacker, was trying to ward off the blockers so that he could get some help from the inside, but he didn't get it quickly enough, and for that reason, William Andrews made an 18-yard gain on that screen pass.
Nolan Cromwell, George Andrews there defensively, a first down at the Rams 48. Andrews and Kane in the backfield. A quickie to the sideline to Jenkins. He's inside the 40 to the 39, and he got about 9 yards on the pass play. Rod Perry tackling him, tripped him up. Who's the better of the 2 cornerbacks for the Rams?
I think overall, Jack, in the league, everybody feels that the Rams secondary is one of the very best in the National Football League, and I think they probably feel that Rod Perry is the better of the 2 corners.
You saw that New Orleans scored 10-0 over Kansas City on a fake field goal pass play. Guido Merkins to Wade Wilson. Second down and 1. Floyd Hodge is in as a wide receiver. first down carry by Lynn Kane. He's to the Ram 36. Jim Collins was there first along with Cromwell. The middle linebacker Carl Eckern is injured early in this game with a knee injury, ligament damage evidently. He'll not return today. That's why Jim Collins is playing the middle linebacker.
And William Andrews that time made a great block on the linebacker, which enabled the runner to make the necessary yardage for the nice game.
First down at the 36. And another pass play. This one is broken up and almost picked off. Covering was Pat Thomas.
Boy, Pat Thomas really did a good job, made a great play that time, and came very close to making the interception.
Coming next on most of these stations, you'll watch the 49ers try to get their first victory of the year. They're 0-2, playing at St. Louis against the Cardinals, who are 1-1. And when the Rams and the Falcons are through here, that's the game you'll see next on CBS. Second down and 10. Leroy Irvin comes in as the extra back. Jenkins is to the right, Jackson to the left. Here is a running play to Lynn Kane. He slices down near the 30-yard line. He got to the 31. It'll be third and long. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Atlanta Falcons and the National Football League is prohibited. Cromwell with another tackle.
One thing we should be aware of, Nick Luckhurst, the fine kicker for Atlanta, pulled a groin muscle in practice on Wednesday, and it's questionable as to how well he'll be able to kick in this game today. We'll have to wait and see.
Third down and 5. Markowski zips it over the middle, and a first down. Very good work by the tight end, Junior Miller. He knew where he had to go, and he made sure that he got there.
Yes, and he's a big, strong, good receiver. Runs well once he makes the catch. Here we see it from the end zone. A good picture. Plenty of time to throw the ball, and he spots Junior Miller. He makes the catch and the necessary yardage for the first down. Miller came into the game with 7 catches, and that makes it number 8.
Only 30 seconds left in the first quarter, with the Rams leading 14-0. And Atlanta first down. Jenkins to the right. Look at the good work by Andrews. He only got a few yards, but he certainly did the right thing.
Andrews, talking to him at practice the other day, said that he's a little heavier than he normally would be at this stage of the season. But if he had to play the entire game, he felt he was capable.
The flag has been thrown. Andrews is slow in getting up.
Ball was dead. Second down. No foul on the play. Second down.
They say no foul, that the ball was dead. It is second down, and it is a field goal by Jim Breach, putting the Bengals ahead of Philadelphia in the first quarter, 3-0. The referee is Jim Tunney. Pat Harder, the umpire. Sid Seaman, the head linesman. Line judge Boyce Smith. Pat Knight, the back judge. Gil Mace, the side judge. And the field judge is Johnny Greer. Second and 9 for Atlanta. 3 wide receivers.
A lot of room on the corners on the outside.
Markowski throws over the middle, and it's caught by Miller. Short of a first down. It's going to be third down and 3. Jim Collins, the linebacker. George Andrews, the outside linebacker there. I suppose they'll pick on the middle with Eckern gone. That'll be the last play of the first quarter.
Yeah, with a 4-3 defense and a 1 middle linebacker scheme, normally you'll key the middle linebacker and throw away from him, and that's what I'm sure they're going to try to do as the game goes on.
14-0 Rams, end of the first.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by Ford Motor Company, where quality is more than priority. Quality is job one.
You can see a lot of empty seats here in Atlanta. The game was sold out. And those people are absent for a variety of reasons, I would suppose. Both quarterbacks started off on the right foot. Steve Bartkowski's 4 out of 5, and Bert Jones is 5 out of 6. 8 plays in with 3rd and 3 at the 18. There goes Lynn Kane outside. Oh, what a good defensive play was made. What a fine tackle was made by Jack Youngblood. They had a blocker all over him and just couldn't take him out of the play.
You can't run outside, Jack, unless you contain the defensive end and also the linebacker on that side. They did not contain Youngblood, number 53, got good penetration. Anytime you get penetration, you're out of business. You're not going to make yardage, and Youngblood did a great job.
Mick Luckhurst is in. Third-year man out of California will try a field goal to put the Falcons on the board.
I mentioned that he pulled a muscle Wednesday in his groin. It'll be interesting to see how well he kicks in this game today. He wasn't able to kick all week long.
And it could be a fake with Morosky holding the ball. From the 28, a 38-yard try, and it is no good.
No follow-through. That leg bothers him, Jack, very obviously. He did not kick the ball and attack the ball like he normally does. He has to have a problem with that leg.
Well, he'll come back out to the line of scrimmage. He's not feeling very well. He's getting married this week, too. You can enjoy the holiday with CBS Sports and great NCAA football. Next Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, is Oklahoma against Nebraska. Always a Big 8 confrontation. And they've got a running back at Oklahoma, Hank, who is really something. Only a freshman.
Yeah, Marcus Dupre, and he is amazing. 6'3", and weighs about 215, and he really flies. Notre Dame against USC, and Notre Dame's going to have to shake down the thunder and wake up the echoes and win one for the Gipper all at one time.
That game's on Saturday after the Friday Oklahoma-Nebraska game. Here's the running play to Gerald Thomas. Boy, he had blasted back. Here's an example of the Rams using fresh personnel. They have Gerald Thomas and the rookie Barry Redden in there.
And that's a very important factor, and especially on grass. I don't think it's going to be nearly as critical on synthetic turf around the country as it would be on grass today.
The Bears get out in front on a field goal, but now Eric Hipple has thrown one to Mark Nichols to put the Lions out in front. And another field goal by Tampa Bay, 2 of them by Capice, and they lead 6-0 in the second quarter over Dallas. Line of scrimmage is the 23-yard line. It's 2nd down and 2. And Jones zings it low over the middle, and it is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down as he tried to get it out to the wide receiver, Denard.
That's the only way you can throw that kind of a football. If you throw it high and it ricochets off the receiver's hands, then of course it's a tipping drill, and usually the ball is intercepted. That kind of a ball can go in no place but down, and there's no chance for an interception.
It is 3rd down and 8. Put the 2 new backs in there, and the Rams haven't perked as they did the first couple of times they had the ball.
And I think the Rams have an advantage from personnel standpoint. I think they have more people to substitute, really, than the Atlanta Falcons.
We have 13-17 left in the half. Jones needs 8 yards. And he is taken down, sacked. Somebody had him around the leg, and he tried to dump it off. Jeff Murrow was there, the defensive end, to get him.
It was amazing. They only had a 3-man rush, and they still got to the quarterback that time. He had plenty of time to throw the ball. Couldn't locate anybody. He comes in from the right side. Watch it. Look at, he's got plenty of time, and he's blocked down, and finally gets up. Jeff Merrill, number 75, and still makes the tackle.
Billy Johnson, you remember him? Back awaiting the kick from John Misko, the rookie.
Billy Whiteshoes.
Let's see what he does. Inside the 45-yard line waiting. The snap will be by Doug Barnett. And a whistle stops play. A flag has been thrown. A whistle to stop play. Thank you, sir. Now the Rams are going to have to give Atlanta pretty good field position.
You know, I really think, considering the fact they've had such a long layoff, that the Rams certainly are looking very, very impressive. The Atlanta team hasn't done extremely well yet offensively, but they're getting better and better. They just haven't done a very good job defensively so far, but they're going to have to do more things defensively like they normally do to get back into this game.
Misko will touch it off at the goal line. He hangs it high. It's a beautiful kick, and it sends the 40-yard line. He's out to, flag goes down. He is to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, and down to the 41. But the flag is going to cost Atlanta. Billy Johnson up to his old tricks in the 19-yard return after a 46-yard punt. A heck of a kick.
Yeah, heck of a kick and a great return by Billy Whiteshoes. He's got terrific vision and is always looking, is always under control, and that's why he was able to stretch that return into a 19-yard gain, but all to no avail because of the penalty on the play.
The ball is marked at the 41.
Illegal block above the waist on the run back. 10 yards. First down.
Well, these officials don't have to be retrained, do they?
They stay sharp.
Ray Malavasi along the sideline.
Watch. Here we see the clip, number 33 in the lower left side of the picture. A good picture here. Look at Bo Robinson, number 33, was involved in the clip. Billy Whiteshoes running to the left. Returns at 18 yards. Good run, but the clip nullifies the game.
Well, we haven't seen many of the cheerleaders for the past few weeks, have we?
Well, they've been missed by a lot of people, I guess, too, haven't they?
I hope. If they haven't been, they've been wasting their time.
Yeah.
It's a first down at the 41 of the Falcons. And, oh, what a beautifully thrown pass beyond midfield. He just got it over Youngblood, the linebacker. And he got out and he hit his man, Alfred Jackson.
Here we see Jackson on the right side. Thomas is way off, playing very soft in the back pedal. Breaks to the outside, tries to react to the play. Doesn't do it quickly enough. Makes the tackle, but they make a first down on the play.
At the Los Angeles 48. And ball just got over Youngblood's hand. The linebacker, Jim, that is, who is leaping for it. And the running play to the rookie. Gerald Riggs can't go anywhere. Riggs is 6'1", 230 out of Arizona State, the number 1 pick. Pat Thomas caught up to him. The Steelers ahead of Houston, 3-0 in the first quarter. New Orleans ahead of Kansas City, 10-7 in the second quarter. Tampa Bay still leading Dallas in the second quarter, 6-0. An interception return widens the Detroit lead, 14-3 over Chicago in the first quarter. And it is second down and 12.
And Gerald Riggs, the fine running back from Arizona State, is in there at this time.
Extra back is in. Here's the screen. This one might go. Andrews running with it. He's inside the 45-yard line. Got good yards.
And Pat Howell, that time, number 64, the left guard, did a good job of blocking on the play. We'll see another end zone shot of it. Watch it. Bartkowski going back into the pocket. Does a good job of setting up and dumps the ball off to the left to Andrews. Watch 64. Pat Howell played his collegiate football at Southern California. Throws a nice block. But in spite of that, he's knocked out of bounds, but not until after he makes a nice gain on the play.
At the Los Angeles 43-yard line, it is third down and 4. Is in, the extra wide receiver for Atlanta.
They're in the bump and run. They might try to go up on top for a big play here.
Bartkowski zings it. Oh, what a fine catch at the 30-yard line. And another touchdown. Jenkins broke loose. How he caught that ball in the heavy traffic, I don't know. I can't say enough for the zip that Bartkowski had on the ball. He broke the tackle and scored.
You talk about a frozen rope. That's exactly the way he threw that one. But here again, they were in bump and run, as I mentioned, Jack, and it's one-for-one coverage. Jenkins did a good job watching, coming off the line of scrimmage on the outside. 84 on Pat Thomas. Watch, he makes an outside move and then breaks to the inside. The ball goes right through. It looked like it was going to be intercepted there by Irvin. It looked like Irvin, but he goes right through there and makes the catch and goes all the way for the touchdown.
Pat Thomas put the hit on him, but then he squirmed away. Luckhurst tries the extra point. It is good. And we have a 14-7 game with 10:36 remaining in the first half. Rams had the first two scores. And then after first touchdown of the year for Alfred Jenkins. They weren't very happy with him, Hank. He was a holdout, and then he reported out of shape.
Yes, and he didn't report the first day of practice on Wednesday, and they were really squeaking about that, but I don't think they're going to squeak very much after that touchdown play.
Barry Redden awaits the kick from Luckhurst. This does not carry to the goal line, and it goes out of bounds, and he'll have to kick from the 30-yard line.
I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. Luckhurst has a pulled groin, and it's very obvious that he's not kicking like he's capable of kicking. There's soreness there, and it could be a problem as we go along in this game as far as field goal kicking is concerned. He's already missed one.
4 plays, 59 yards, a minute and 42 seconds, and the pass play to Jenkins. And Lehman Bennett, the Duke of Paducah, Kentucky, strolling the sideline. Alfred Jenkins has caught 304 passes now during his career, only one behind Jim Mitchell, their longtime good tight end. Green Bay ahead of Minnesota, 3-0 second quarter. Green Bay is undefeated. And Miami playing and leading 3-0 over Buffalo in the second quarter. Your old friend Stenerud had a field goal for Green Bay.
He just goes on and on and on. He's like Old Man River, isn't he?
And Ubi von Schamann had the field goal for Miami. This time the kick will be from the 30, and there's a very good chance that Redden, number 30, will return. 14-7 the score. It's a little better by Luckhurst. And Redden from the 5, 10, 20. Did not get to the 25-yard line. Ordinarily, when they're moving along very well on defense, Atlanta is a swarming defensive team, one of the better teams for a lot of people going to the ball.
Well, it's hard. Normally, here's Thanksgiving Day game, New York Giants versus Detroit.
So spend the Thanksgiving holiday with CBS TV. Pat Summerall, John Madden will be in Detroit for the Giant game, which starts at 12 noon Eastern Time. It is a first down from the 24 from the Rams. Redden trying to get outside, fumbles the ball, and it is recovered by Atlanta. Got it back. Another flag goes down. I mean, the Rams got it back, and another flag went down late. The Rams still have it after the Barry Redden fumble. Joel Williams stripped it from him.
The Atlanta team, really, they gang tackle, pursue as well as anybody in the league. There's a penalty by Tooney.
Illegal use of the hands. You can see that Jim Tenney doesn't take much guff from any of the players.
Yeah, he's very decisive. There you see Pat Harder also in the picture, one of the great running backs that ever played in the National Football League, and a great back at the University of Wisconsin. Played with Elroy Hirsch.
Ball's down at the 15.
Illegal block above the waist. Number 60. 10 yards. Still first down.
First and 20. At the Los Angeles 15-yard line with 10:08 left in the half. On the score, the Rams 14 and Atlanta 7. For Gerald Thomas. And he got most of that penalty yardage back. He got it all back, plus a couple more. Al Richardson tackled him, 56, and Don Smith, the nose guard.
And both teams are doing a good job of moving people around, substitution-wise.
The Jets are having a good time. Augustiniak ran one in, 1 yard out, 17-0 in the second quarter over Baltimore. Second down and 8. Baltimore 0-2, by the way. The Jets 1-1. Split backs with Redden and Thomas. Billy Waddy is in and a wide receiver to the right. Jones dumps it short, and it's caught by the running back Redden. And there's a good gang tackling by Atlanta again. And very little gain on the play. Al Richardson, the first one there.
That time, if you got a chance to look, Jack, there were 8 red shirts around Redden as he made the catch. 8 defensive red shirts. That's what they do best.
A lot of players in and out as they try to keep fresh troops in. It's 3rd and 8. Is it baseball or football?
Looks like a baseball game. Cincinnati 5, Philadelphia zip.
Reggie Williams tackled Jaworski in the end zone, 5-0 Cincinnati with 11 minutes left in the half. Mike Perlo is in there defensively for Atlanta. We'll talk about him after a bit. 3rd and 8. And the pass is caught. And it is very close to a first down. In fact, it is a first down as Drew Hill caught it and scrambled out to the 35, 36-yard line.
Atlanta's not going to get much of a pass rush at all. They're rushing only 3 people. Burt Jones, there's a good end zone picture right here.
Hank, that's why they have blitzed so much in the past.
Yes, but he's got all the time in the world, and Burt Jones is really a master at dumping the ball off and throwing to the open man. And if they don't put more pressure on him, they're going to run up and down the field like it's going to be a bag drill.
Hank, we see a lot of crossing patterns, but we never see any pick calls by the officials, do we?
Well, the only way they can call a pick is if the receiver runs right into the linebacker or the defensive back, and we haven't seen that.
First down pass by Jones, long into heavy traffic. Overthrown and incomplete. He tried to get it to the speedster Billy Waters. He was covered by Bobby Butler downfield. When this game is over, it'll be the 49ers 0-2 trying to get on the board, visiting St. Louis, which has a record of 1-1, and Bill Walsh, their coach, makes no bones about it. He says, our guys think they have it made. All they have to do is walk on the field. Complacency has set in.
Well, you know, that's one thing about all things that happen. I tell you, the offensive line to the Rams is a big, strong one. Pankey, Hill, Smith, Heron, Slater. They're as good as anybody in the National Football League, and they can blow you right off the ball if you give them an opportunity to do that.
3 yards by Barry Redden. 3rd and 7. Buffalo moves ahead of Miami. Buffalo, well, both of those teams are undefeated. They're in the second quarter, and it's 7-3 Buffalo. 3 wide receivers for the Rams.
Now they're all up in a line of scrimmage. He ought to automatic and try to go deep. Now they back off and try to disturb the picture.
They still don't get to him, and the long pass play. Hill is out of bounds. Out of bounds. Out of bounds. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. Bob Glazebrook covering him downfield.
Yeah, it was bump and run all the way, and they pretended like they were going to blitz, and they backed off. But in spite of that, he changed the play and still went deep, and it would have been a good in Canada, but it was just too wide.
Jeff Yates finally got a little bit of pressure on Burt Jones. And in to do the punting is John Misko. This will be his second punt of the afternoon. Billy White Shoes Johnson is back at his 20-yard line. Oh, another fine punt by Misko. Let it go, Billy. No, he took it at the 7. He stood at 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. One man. He's to the 40, 35, 30. What an exciting run back. There are no flags down. There are no flags down, and the punt return will stand. What did I say? Let it go?
Yeah, you said it, let it go. Good thing he didn't hear you. Lucius Smith, number 23, who's got great speed, made the tackle. Lucius Smith, number 23, or else he'd have rang the scoreboard and got 6 on the board.
Smith had the tackling angle on him, and that was the only thing that prevented Johnson from going all the way from the 7-yard line. He made some moves, didn't he?
He really did. He went through there like a snake that time, did a beautiful job, and watched Lucius Smith, number 23, overtaking and knock him out of bounds.
Ball of the 23 of the Rams for the Falcons, who trail by 7. Bartkowski going to go for a quickie. Dumps it off short. It's caught. Inside the 15, and Andrews is down to the 10 for a first down. Jim Collins, the middle linebacker there. Again, they're picking on the middle with Ecker now.
Here is Bartkowski going back. Look at, he's reading the middle linebacker. And the back goes underneath the middle linebacker, number 50, and hit him right in that vacated area. And he makes the necessary yardage for the first down. A good-looking play. But the key was that they threw away from the middle linebacker.
First and 10 from the 11.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see him run a trap or something right up the middle here, too, sometime on this drive. There it is.
Kowski on a delay to Andrews, and he gets a couple. 2nd and 8.
That was too delayed, Jack. A trap would have been better. Not the second guessing, but it looked like maybe a trap would have been better at that particular time.
That's a second guess.
Well, it is a second guess, I guess, but if you're going to hit that middle area, especially with a young linebacker, and he's a good one, you got to do it quickly.
Cody Jones and Reggie Doss were there. Bartkowski is 8 out of 9, 110 yards.
There's Lehman Bennett.
Terry Bradshaw throws the pass to Hawthorne. Good for 17 yards and a 10-0 Steeler lead. They're in the second quarter.
They might try to do something on Thomas over here. They got a bump and run on the left side.
Quickie, and it is caught. It is caught right at the goal line. Jenkins caught that ball. Alfred Jenkins unbelievably caught that ball, and it's 1st and goal.
And Rod Perry, you couldn't cover him any better than that. There was room on the right side. Thomas was playing soft. And bump and run on the right side. They decided to go to the bump and run side, one-on-one. Unbelievable catch. And you can't cover a guy any better than he was covered there by Rod Perry.
They're going to measure. It's our guess that it'll be 1st and goal. Or are they inches short? It'll be 3rd down if it is not 1st and goal. It is a 3rd down play coming up. 3rd and inches for a 1st down with about a half a yard to go for a touchdown.
There you see the blitz. Andrews coming, and the ball was thrown exactly where it had to be thrown, right at the numbers, and Rod Perry really covered it well under the circumstance. It was just a perfectly thrown ball.
3rd down and inches for the 1st down, and 3rd down and a foot for the touchdown.
They feel that their left tackle, Mike Kent, is their best offensive lineman. Whether they go left over him or whether they go over the big right tackle Bryant, let's see what they do.
Andrews is the big man in their backfield. They give it to Andrews, and he gets to the goal line. I'm pretty sure now that it'll be 1st and goal. It is not a touchdown. Jim Collins and Mike Fanning were there. This turned out to be a good game.
Yes, it is. You never know. They were off for 8 weeks, and they're doing a good job. The coaches are doing a great job of substituting players and keeping them fresh.
1st down and goal to go for Atlanta. We have 4:19 remaining in the half. The Rams lead 14-7. They were ahead 14-0. This has happened to them earlier this year. 2 tight ends, Miller and McCusker for Atlanta. High formation. Here's a toss to the rookie running back, and Darrell Riggs gets his first National Football League touchdown. Riggs went over. He's a big back at 230 pounds. That's his first ever, and probably won't be his last, Hank. He is outstanding.
Yeah, he's going to give that scorekeeper a lot of business during his career here with the Atlanta Falcons. I had a nice visit with him at practice yesterday. Watch it from the I formation. They tossed the ball deep. Andrews, number 31. Look at a nice block he makes on the defensive end. A beautiful block. It looked like he made a defensive good block on Meissner, number 69. Goes in for the touchdown.
Morosky will hold. This game is tied. 14-14 with 3:58 remaining in the half. The punt return by Billy White Shoes Johnson set it up, and we are tied. Believe it or not, it's the basketball season. NCAA basketball is back on CBS, and the defending champion, North Carolina, takes on the Missouri Tigers. They've won the Big 8 title the last 3 years. Gary Bender and Billy Packer will be there at the Checker Dome in St. Louis next Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. NCAA basketball on CBS. You played basketball at Purdue, didn't you?
Yes, I was a center. Pivot man.
Pivot man.
It's 5'3".
Here's the kick. Barry Redden waits for it. Takes it on the 8-yard line. 15. He breaks loose. One man. He breaks loose from another tackle. He's down into Atlanta territory, and he's near the 40-yard line. Why are we getting so many long runs? That one 55 yards, Hank.
Well, you know, this takes a lot of practice, especially teams. You You have to do a good job of being under control. You make the tackle. Look at the people out of position. Bad tackling. They haven't had any tackling practice for 8 weeks, and it shows. Both teams have done a poor job on specialty teams, and Redden did a great job of taking advantage of it and bringing the ball back in good field position for the Rams.
3:42 left in the half. The ball's at the 42-yard line. Pass play by Jones. It's good inside the 35, and a big hit was made over there. A big hit made on George Farmer by Kenny Johnson. Johnson doesn't seem to mind.
Here again, you see how deep the defensive back is. Johnson, they throw in front of him. It's like playing baseball, just playing catch when they're playing that deep.
2nd down and 2.
There's the coach, Ray Malavasi.
He had a 14-0 lead. It's tied now. Gooman and Thomas are in the backfield for the Rams. Motion by the tight end, and a toss to Gooman going outside, and he did not get the first down. Very aggressive play by Kenny Johnson on the corner. He came up like a flag.
And Barry Redden, boy, did he make a great block on Joel Williams, the linebacker, number 58. Watch the block that Redden makes on 58. Watch Gooman. He's going to the left. Watch 33. A beautiful block. Look at on 58. But Johnson comes up beautifully and makes the tackle.
That's the way a linebacker and a cornerback have to play.
They have to come be on the attack and make something happen, and he did.
It is 3rd down and 4 as a result. From the 36, here comes Gerald Thomas. He is inside the 30-yard line, and he has a first down. Thomas goes to the 29 before Richardson and Curry stopped him. We saw Thomas in his first game that he ever played for the Rams. You see the clock running down to the 3-minute mark.
Listen, I was giving credit to Redden. I'm sorry, I was giving Redden for the great block. It was Thomas, number 33, who made that great block a minute ago. And that time, the offensive line and the tight end did a great job of blocking the defensive end and linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. And that's why that play was successful.
The ball's at the 29-yard line, a first down. Rams trying to regain the lead.
Look at all the room on the outside, Jack.
There's inside and behind the receiver. The intended receiver was George Farmer, and the pass is incomplete. We have our first halftime score. The legends of the game will feature zoom in on Larry Wilson, a member of Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's now Director of Player Personnel for the Cardinals. And Brent Musburger and Irv Cross will have scores and highlights and a busy halftime show here on CBS.
And he was a master of the safety blitz, wasn't he?
Oh, man. He'd really lay low. 2nd down and 10. Jones is 9 out of 13. Here's a delay to Gooman, and he is hit by the linebacker, Fulton Kuykendall. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Big play for Jones and company.
You know, the defensive backs, Jack, are playing very deep, and for that reason, he ought to be able to throw in front of or inside of. They're substituting very freely. Talking about Atlanta on defense, their linebacker core comes out, defensive end comes out.
We have 2:05 left in the half, and we'll have the 2-minute warning before another play is run. When we resume, it will be 3rd down and 9 for the Rams from the 29-yard line of the Atlanta Falcons. They're already within field goal range as Los Angeles tries to get the lead back. Hank Stram and Jack Buck with you from Atlanta. 2 minutes left in the half. The Rams led 14-0. We're tied now, and Los Angeles has 3rd down and 9 from the Atlanta 29-yard line. After 2 Stenerud field goals, Tommy Kramer ran over from 4 yards out with 5 minutes left in the half. Minnesota leads Green Bay by the score of 7-6. And another score, Dallas, after trailing 6-0, now has a 7-6 lead at halftime. Dallas is 1-1. And Tampa Bay 0-2 at the start of the day. They talk it over along the Rams sideline, try to come up with the proper 3rd down play. Los Angeles has made a first down 5 times in 7 tries on 3rd down.
John Hadel is calling the plays for the Los Angeles Rams, and he was a great quarterback for the Chargers, the Rams, and the Green Bay Packers. Bert Jones is really doing a good job. He's 9 for 13 and doing a good job of picking the defense. And most of the time, plenty of time to throw the football.
Waddy is in there. George Farmer is in there as a wide receiver. And the third wide receiver is Drew Hill.
And Atlanta has 6 defensive backs and 1 middle linebacker, 3-man rush.
Wendell Tyler's back in there. It's a straight rush. Jones stays in the pocket and hits his man, and a first down on a fine bit of action. Then the ball came loose. The ball came loose. Was it whistle dead? No, it belongs to Atlanta. Scrambling for the first down. After catching the ball, Wendell Tyler coughed it up, and Atlanta recovers. First turnover of the game with 1:47 left in the half, and Buddy Curry made the hit.
Watch, they got 6 defensive backs, and they get Tyler on a matchup here. Got plenty of time to throw. 3 against 5. He delivers the ball to Tyler in front of Curry. He knows where he has to go for the first down, but Kuykendall knocks the ball loose, and it's recovered, and Atlanta has possession first and 10 on about the 18.
Atlanta is a very good 2-minute drill team. They start at their 19-yard line. They stay on the ground, and the play breaks out for big yards near the 30. With William Andrews carrying the ball. Johnny Johnson tackled him, and timeout is called by Atlanta. Let's watch that fumble again and see who did what.
Here we see it again, a 3-man rush. Plenty of time to throw the ball. Gets the ball to Tyler. Curry overruns the play. He comes back in. Kuykendall is in to make the tackle. The ball just pops loose, and Williams makes the recovery. Here we see Lehman Bennett, Jimmy Ray works with the receivers, and Bill Walsh, who normally has been with the offensive line, now working for the defensive line and doing a great job.
And Ray Malavasi along the other sideline. His assistants are John Hadel, Clyde Evans, Paul Lanham, Herb Patera, Jim Ringo, Fitz Sherman, Jack Snow. Here's another pass over the middle to Andrews. That's another first down. He's still going. He's to the 49 at Los Angeles. There's plenty of time. A minute and 25 left in the half. Jim Collins, the tackler, and they are really working on the middle of that Los Angeles defense.
You know, the amazing thing about the Atlanta team, here's the replay. They dump the ball off into the middle area.
And here we're back to live action, and the pass is caught inside the 40-yard line. Did he catch it? Did Junior Miller catch it? Yes, he did. That's another first down.
You know, Jack, the amazing thing about Atlanta, they only practice their 2-minute offense once a week, and that's on Saturday, and they do it against the breeze. They don't do it against any defense.
Junior Miller caught that last pass. Johnson was the tackler. Timeout, Atlanta. 1:03 left. 1:03 left. Score tied 14-all, and Atlanta has the ball at the Los Angeles 37. The last pass was caught by Junior Miller. And Mr. Bartkowski thinks he's been playing every week. He's 11 out of 12, 149 yards and a touchdown. No touchdown, but he set up the touchdown.
Corners are playing very soft. Now they come up tight on a deep to double the outside receivers.
Bartkowski is running, and he dives down after gaining about 3 or 4 yards. He's not a very good runner, is he?
He's got very deceptive speed, though, Jack.
He's slower than he looks?
That's right.
Tackler was Jim Youngblood. Hurry up offense for the Falcons. Here's a toss to Andrews. Andrews has another first down. Andrews is down to the 26, and we have 32, 31, 30 seconds left. Pat Thomas, the tackler. Another first down for the 26. 20 seconds left. He airs it out, and it is incomplete. And I do not blame the official for not drawing a flag, because it was the receiver who caused the entanglement down there. Rod Perry was covered. But we do have another flag and a motion penalty against Atlanta. Those are some of the things that happen in the hurry-up offense.
And the other thing that we mentioned earlier, and I'll mention again, is that the young kicker, Mick Luckhurst, has a pulled groin, and he might have a problem as far as trying to kick a field goal, especially if it's very far out.
Illegal motion, wide receiver, penalty accepted. First down, 15.
We have 17 seconds left. The ball is at the 32, and it's 1st and 15. Only 17 seconds remaining. Score tied, 14 all. Rams led 14-0 at one time. These two teams slugging it out rather well. Jackson is to the left. Jenkins is to the right.
We might see something to the tight end again.
Long over the middle, and you called it, Hank, but the pass was overthrown to Junior Miller. He slid right down the middle. The linebacker was trying to stay with him. That was Collins. He'd gotten away, but the pass was incomplete, and we have 13 seconds left.
Yeah, they were double covering the outside people. The only guy that could have been open would have been the tight end or a back, and he really popped clean, except the ball was thrown over the top.
13 seconds remaining. 2nd down and 15 from the Los Angeles 32. And Atlanta has one more timeout. Into the wide receiver is Billy Johnson. He goes to the right.
They got to throw the ball to a back or a tight end again, Jack, to get it closer.
He avoids the sack and throws it into the end zone, and Miller had stopped running. Incomplete to Junior Miller again. Now we have 7 seconds left. And if they're going to try a field goal, it'll have to be now. Cody Jones is the one who grabbed onto Bartkowski, and Steve got away from Cody. Aired it out, incomplete.
Now they might fake this, Jack. They have a quarterback holding, Borowski.
Luckhurst missed earlier from 38 yards.
And he only kicked one field goal in the first 2 games, and that was for 29 yards.
This is a 49-yard try. That's within his range. Let's see if he can do it. Borowski gets it down, a line drive, and it is good. 49 yards by Luckhurst. And Atlanta, after trailing 14-0 with 2 seconds left, has the lead 17-14. Only 2 seconds left in the half. He kicked a line drive that just did skim over the crossbar.
Looked like it was on the trolley line, but it got over.
Luckhurst very happy about that one.
He's got to be very happy because talking to him, he was very concerned. He was very concerned about the muscle pull, but he got through that one in good shape. Watch him here, number 18, Nick Luckhurst.
All right. Looks like Rocky out there. 50 yards, 8 plays, minute and 45 seconds. All of that after recovering a fumble. So they took it from one end of the field where the Rams were going to go in and go ahead to the other end of the field and got 3 out of it. Luckhurst will kick it off with 2 seconds left.
Both teams have been very effective offensively. The one thing that's very obvious, the tackling has been very poor.
Hank, when you were coaching, 2 seconds left, 4 seconds left, 7 seconds, would you kick the ball deep in a spot like this?
Never. Kick a knuckleball. Make sure that you don't provide them with the opportunity to get a good kickoff return.
You heard about that California-Stanford game yesterday, didn't you? That was unbelievable.
It really was, wasn't it?
That was the longest field goal of the career of Nick Luckhurst, who went to school in California. Prior to that, 45 yards. This boot was 49, and it's 17-14 Atlanta. It was a very enthusiastic crowd, Hank. Early on, when the Falcons made a few mistakes, they got on their necks a little bit, but they're responding to what they've said.
Oh, yeah. They responded both negatively and positively, depending on how the team has played, but there's been a response.
Luckhurst gets some last-minute instruction. Barry Redden is deep. There's Barry Redden, the rookie out of Richmond. And Luckhurst pops it high. It should be good coverage by Atlanta, taken by Gooman on the flank. He is down and the half is over, and Atlanta has the lead. And the fans want to listen to it. They like it. Atlanta started the day with a record of 1-1. The Rams started the day 0-2. And they'd better walk out of here with a victory, or the playoffs may elude them.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who remind you that it's a good feeling to buckle up for safety. Miller High Life, welcome to Miller Time. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be.
Hank Stram, I don't know if you agree with me, but it's my opinion that if you didn't know there had been a strike, you wouldn't know it by watching the way they're playing today.
No, not especially the way they're playing offensively, Jack. Both teams are doing an excellent job. The only thing that's dramatically different, I don't think they're tackling nearly as well as they normally would.
And that's to be expected, and it was expected by everybody. Let's watch the 4 touchdowns that we have. The first is by Wendell Tyler.
Watch Tyler and watch both guards. Hera and 72, Hill, look at both making a good block out in front. Tyler goes into the end zone for the touchdown, and they go ahead 6-0.
And then 7-0 for the Rams, and then Ron Battle, their second-string tight end, got his first pro touchdown.
Play action pass on short yardage. It looks like there's a pick on the play, but he goes all the way 51 yards. He looks like he ran right out of the bleachers, goes all the way 51 yards for the touchdown, and the Rams, after they add the extra point, go ahead 14-0. Now watch Atlanta. Look at this man-for-man coverage. Watch Jenkins, and look at the ball was almost intercepted. He breaks through the tackle of Pat Thomas and goes all the way for the touchdown. A beautiful run by Jenkins, number 84, that puts him right back in the game, 14-7. Now we see their young offense, Riggs, number 42, go in for the touchdown. Good blocks by Andrews and also their tight end Miller.
And then the field goal by Luckhurst put the Falcons on top, 49 yards, his longest ever. And the kickoff will be forthcoming from Mike Lansford. And Reggie Brown is back inside his 5, awaiting the kick for Atlanta. So it was 14-0 in favor of Los Angeles. And now the Falcons have the lead. And there's Reggie Brown, a rookie out of Oregon. 5-11, 2-11. And the referee, Jim Tunney, said, let her rip. This will be returned by Brown from the 10-yard line. 15-20. And out to the 25-yard line it goes. And Bartkowski, who had a very, very good first half, will start his club once more.
Yeah, he was hot. 11 of 14 for 149 yards, 1 touchdown, and no sacks and no interceptions.
Hank, frequently there was great coverage by the Rams, but Bartkowski just threaded the needle.
Oh, the one slant pass was beautiful. Rod Perry was right there to make the cover.
The ball to the Atlanta 25-yard line. And the tailback, Lynn Kane, comes for about 3, maybe 4 yards. Andrews was blocking on the play, and he's a pretty good blocker.
He's a great blocker, Jack. Very, very good blocker.
We'll remind you that the Rams are playing without Carl Eckern, their middle linebacker, and their 6-year veteran, who has a knee injury. Coming up next here on CBS, after this one, the 49ers trying to get into the win column, and they're playing at St. Louis. You'll hear the game right after the Falcons and the Rams. 2nd and 5. And Andrews gets a first down. He's out to the 41. Kane for 5 and Andrews for more than that, with George Andrews tackling William Andrews.
William Andrews, really great vision. Head up and his eyes open. Took advantage of the block. Took advantage of the block of the right tackle, Warren Bryant, and popped inside and made a big gain on the play.
You get a good look at Junior Miller as they come out of the huddle. He's the tight end. Jackson to the left and Jenkins to the right. Andrews, he's out to the 44. He got 3 yards. On this Atlanta team, they used to have Alfred Jackson, Alfred Jenkins, and Francis Wallace. Well, or Wallace Francis. But Francis is in the seminary now, and I'm glad that one of them is left. They drive me crazy.
Yeah, you're still confused.
Is it Wallace Francis or Francis Wallace?
Or Buck Jack.
Yeah, or Buck Jack. Ball's at the 44, 2nd down and 7. Their own 44.
Thomas has given Jackson a lot of room on that right side.
The fake draw, the screen. Oh, it's going to go. It's going to go. William Andrews has another first down into Ram territory, and they've made that play go 3 times today.
Yes, and Pat Howell, the left guard, 64, made another great block on Andrews, the linebacker. Here we see it again. Play action, faking to Kane, and then looking to the left side and dumping the ball off to Andrews. Watch the block by Howell, 64, played his collegiate football at Southern California, and another big play for the Atlanta Falcons.
Howell took the starting job away from Dave Scott at the left guard position. That was good for 15 yards and a first down at the Ram 41.
Look at all the room on that right side.
Here comes Lynn Kane. Somebody missed the tackle again, and he dives down to the 37. That's what you're talking about, Hank. That tackler ran right by him.
Yeah, they overrun the play, and that takes a lot of rehearsal, a lot of practice, a lot of discipline. They haven't had that from a team standpoint, and it's very obvious.
So Kane picks up 3. Jack Youngblood made the tackle. On Thanksgiving Day, the Giants will be visiting the Silverdome in Detroit. So get comfortable at 12 o'clock Eastern Time and enjoy that contest on CBS Radio. CBS Television. Here's the pass outside, and it is caught by the tight end McKeska. That's another Atlanta first down, and the Rams can't stop them. How do you like the play call?
Very good. They're doing a good job. Dick Wood, who was calling the plays from the press box, and Jimmy Ray sending them in by signals, doing a very good job keeping them off balance. But again, as I mentioned, they're playing very loose on that right side to the offensive right side, and they were able to make a good gain on that play because of the room they had to throw the football.
At the Los Angeles 30 now. This is a relentless drive. They started at their own 25.
And neither team is getting much of a pass rush. They're going to run right. It looks like something right. Now,
pump it up the middle, and William Andrews goes down inside the 20-yard line. Very close to a first down. That wasn't Andrews. That was the other running back, Bo Robinson, the big fullback.
And that was a good call. What they did that time, the back on the right side was leaning like they were going to run to the right, and they ran right up the middle. Watch it. A good run by Robinson, number 33. Against the grain, takes advantage of the flow of the middle linebacker, and makes a good gain on the play.
It's one first down after another for Atlanta. They're at the 20 now. Already leads 17-14. Here's Robinson again, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Penetration by Jack Youngblood, and a sure-handed tackle. Second down and 10. New Orleans sticking it to Kansas City in the third quarter, 17-7. George Rogers scored from 1 yard out for the latest touchdown for the Saints. On the sideline is the place kicker. Luckhurst doing some practicing. Second down. 11 yards. On the 20. And the draw to Andrews. Picks his way for big yards. He's down to the 16-yard line. Mike Fanning was the tackler, helped by Youngblood, Jack.
Here's a ground level shot. Safety blitz number 20 coming into the outside. There's room in the middle. Fanning, number 79, winds up making the tackle along with Leroy Irvin, number 47, helping on the play.
They're down in 6. Floyd Hodge is one of the wide receivers now for the Falcons.
Five defensive backs in for the Rams.
Straight 4-man rush. Bartkowski throws it. It is caught. And the play is out of bounds. And it looks like another, well, we'll wait and see about the first down. And it's going to be another first down, I guess. No, it's short. It's short. It's going to be a fourth down play.
Here's another shot, but he gets rid of the ball nicely. Not much of a rush. Floyd Hodge makes the reception, number 83. But the ball is right on the money, and the coverage is pretty good.
Leroy Irvin was trying to steal the football. Rod Perry came over and helped with the tackle. Here's the field goal try. Luckhurst has made 1 out of 2. This is a 29-yard effort. Morosky holding. It is good. So after being ahead 14-0, The Rams find themselves trailing by the score of 20-14. We have 8:34 remaining in the half. And that drive started at the Atlanta 25, and they did a great piece of work. Ray Malavasi has to be a bit worried about the situation, Hank. If he walks out of here with a loss, he's 0-3.
Yeah, and especially with the situation the way it is, so few games, it's almost like sudden death. It's really tough.
2 games have been played. They'll play 7 more. By the way, the Rams were given the at San Francisco game on the 2nd of January, and the next game for the Rams will be at home against Kansas City next Sunday. Here's the kick. And Barry Redden waits for it and will return it from the goal line. Slowed down, he breaks the tackle and squirms out near the 30-yard line. More exciting football, we hope, next Sunday after the voting on Tuesday. And you fans watching this game will see either St. Louis and Atlanta or the New Orleans Saints against Bill Walsh's Super Bowl champions, the San Francisco 49ers. It all begins next Sunday with the NFL Today on CBS Sports. A couple of good attractions. Geisen was the tackler for Atlanta on the last play, and now Jones trailing by 6. Has to get him going again. Tyler and Gilman. First down pass play. Wide open. Oh, and it is incomplete. With the ball for a moment was Willie Miller. And then Miller had the ball go off his fingertips. Should have caught that one.
Oh, the timing and execution of the play was perfect. A play-action pass. Miller had Bobby Butler turned, and the ball is thrown right on the outside. He just dropped the ball. Look at this. He turns to the outside, and the important thing is he got his head around quickly, but in spite of that, he dropped the football and falls incomplete. He had Bobby Butler, number 23, licked badly on the play.
I wonder if we'll see Vince Ferragamo before this day is over. They have that, I don't know if it's a problem or a pleasant situation with the Rams.
Oh, I think it's a good situation. Anytime you have 2 good quarterbacks like Burt Jones and Ferragamo, it's got to be a very good situation, although one would like to be playing, but it's still good for the team.
2nd down and 10 on another pass play. Ample time on a long one. And it is incomplete again to Willie Miller. And incomplete. There's some hollering going on. Earl Jones was downfield covered.
Butler was with him puff for puff that time, Jack.
Let's watch that defensive coverage downfield.
Watch it. It's very good coverage on the part of Bobby Butler trying to get the ball to Miller. No, it isn't. It's Earl Jones.
Jones was there.
Earl Jones. I thought it was Butler. It's Earl Jones.
Number 20 is out of Norfolk State. Incomplete, so it's 3rd down. Now let's see where they try to go with Billy Waddy in the lineup, along with Drew Hill and Preston Denard, a fresh core of receivers.
They might try to throw the ball to a back or something inside.
It's caught by Gilman, and he is blasted. Kuykendall and Curry, the middle linebackers, got him, and it's kicking time for the Rams.
Didn't go deep enough. They had the right pattern, but they had a crossing pattern with the backs. But he didn't get enough yardage for the first down. Here's Vince Ferragamo, number 15 on the outside, on the sideline. And we talked to him the last time we were in Los Angeles, and he really has a great attitude about the situation. He definitely would like to play. He's a great competitor, an excellent quarterback, but he understands what the situation is.
Misko kicks, and he tries to get it away from Billy Johnson. Johnson gets to it at the 19, 20, 25. And did I see a flag go down as he is tackled near the 30-yard line? A flag is down. Billy Johnson with another good kick return. Johnson, by the way, came here from Montreal in the Canadian League, and we have an illegal block downfield, a 44-yard punt. But the Falcons, who were back at their 25 previously, have a long way to go. We have 7:19 left. We're in the 3rd quarter. Evidently, Geisen is the one who committed the infraction.
On the return, 10 yards, first down.
Well, we have 7 minutes, 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and the Falcons are ahead 26. We have 7:19 left in the third quarter of this game. And the Falcons are back at their 20-yard line. Hank, is there any explanation for what happened to the Rams in that first game at Green Bay and what has happened to them to this point in this game?
No, I think the obvious thing people will automatically think is that they have a letdown, but that's not the case. You have to realize that they're playing another professional football team who are trying just as hard as they are and very efficient, and really they're doing a very good job offensively. They just have to tighten up and do a better job defensively, although a couple of passes were thrown perfectly, and that really has made the difference.
Jackson is to the right, Jenkins to the left. And William Andrews has been a workhorse, got 4 yards. Going over the right side. Jack Youngblood there to greet him, and Johnny Johnson up from the safety spot. And a fumble return of a kickoff by Maurice Harvey. Green Bay 2-0 so far in the year, leading early in the third quarter, 19-7. They returned, they kicked it off, and then got a touchdown out of it.
You know, the other thing, I understand that the Green Bay Packers worked out as many people during the strike as any other team in the National Football League. Most teams in the league. They did a good job.
Second down and 6. Bartkowski has the ball tipped as he tried to get that screen out there again. Cody Jones got his mitt up there and knocked it down incomplete. Jones is 6'5", and he was able to get that hand up there. Next, it's at St. Louis. The 49ers trying to get on track, and Bill Walsh will be raising heck if they don't play well today. He's already accused them of being very, very complacent here at the outset of the season.
Yeah, with that kind of a team, they have to get out of the quicksand, or else they're going to go right down in the tank, because it's a tough situation after losing 0-2.
That's next here on CBS. They take out the tight end Miller. They put in Hodge, the third wide receiver.
Bump and run. They're going to try to go deep, I would think.
And they do. And it is incomplete. They try to get it downfield for Floyd Hodge out of Utah. Incomplete, and it's time for a punt from Smigelski. Now, here's a department of the game that may bother the Atlanta Falcons. They got rid of John James, and Smigelski hasn't done too well. This will be his second punt.
He's averaged 39.1 in the games that he's kicked, and that's not up to his potential, really.
The Falcons saw it that James was losing his effectiveness, and they thought this fellow was going to be good. This is an ordinary kick. Taken by Urban on the 40. He stumbles around the 45. He's in trouble. Down he goes, back at the 35-yard line. It's damp, and even though the field had been covered, the footing is not the very, very best. It's a 36-yard punt. He lost 4 yards on the return. Very strong downfield to make the tackle. 6:14 left in the third quarter. CBS from the fans here. E.T. says the Falcons are home. The Falcons have lost defensive back Blaine Geisen. He's the back out of Hawaii. He has a sprained right knee. Probably will not be back. And how are the Cowboys doing? Robert Newhouse from 3 yards out, and they have the lead over Tampa Bay. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. First down for Burt Jones and company. A toss to Gilman. And Gilman with a flag down comes out across the 40-yard line. I bet the Rams don't like the way this is going, Hank, because they are unable to use Wendell Tyler as they ordinarily do.
Well, there's no reason why they shouldn't, really, because they've got plenty of time. They just have to be patient. They've really done a good job of moving the football. The only thing that happened, really, was they coughed up the ball right before the half. It got them in trouble. But overall, they've moved the football very well.
Holding, defense on a running play, added to the end. 5 yards, first down.
Now the ball is at the 47 of the Rams. Defensive holding. You don't see that call very often, especially on a running play. Tyler's back in there now. First down pass play, and it is ruled complete. It is complete down into Atlanta territory to the 47 7.
Bert Jones really did a good job of getting that ball to the outside that time. Here's a good shot of it, one-on-one on the outside. He just runs a square-out pattern. Denard, number 88, the right corner. Johnson is way off. The ball's right on the money, right on the numbers, and they make the reception.
And it is good for 6 yards. Denard had caught only 2 passes coming into today's game, but he's caught a couple here this afternoon. Second man is Tyler. He is swarmed under short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and short yardage. We have 5:50 left in the 3rd quarter. When Engstrom and I came down here to Atlanta, we assumed, I think like most other people around the country, that when the NFL players, 1,500 of them, vote on Tuesday, that it would be automatic that they'd continue the season. Now we're not too sure, are we, Hank?
Well, I really feel, Jack, that they'll continue to play, but I don't think that the vote will be as overwhelming in favor of the owners as we thought they would be. That's basically what we were saying earlier in the telecast. There's a lot of contradiction about what's going to happen, really.
In a word, we could have another strike. Most people don't think so.
Look at the outside receivers bump and run.
Here is Jones faking short, running, trying to get a first down, and he is bent backwards on 3rd down. He is short. It's 4th and about 1, and Kuykendall and Yates put him in a vice. Jones is a big kid at 6'3", 211, and he can withstand such hits, but not very often.
They went bump and run, which means they were playing the receivers tight on the line of scrimmage. He was trying to go deep, it looked like, and he's getting ready to throw the ball. Smith got some penetration. He decided to try to run with it to make the first down, but didn't do so, and it's 4th and short, and it looks like they might go for it.
Yeah, trailing by the score 20-14 with 4:40 left in the quarter. Jones went to the bench, and they are going to go for it. He's got about, he has 10 seconds to get the playoff, and now they're going to call time. With only a few seconds left on the 30-second clock, they thought they'd better make sure about this call. 4th down and 1. It is 4th down and 1 for the Rams. Bert Jones over talking to Ray Malavasi. Some help has come down from the press box. The ball is at the 44 of Atlanta. We have 4:31 left in the 3rd quarter. Falcons are leading 20-14, and the Rams are gambling.
Usually you have the ball about 68 times in a game, and you're only on 4th and 1 on one occasion, usually, percentage-wise. It's a good time for a big play.
Well, let's see if they gamble a go for 6 to try to get the first down with Gooman and Tyler. Battle on the move. Here's Wendell Tyler. He got the first down, and he's going to score. One man has a chance, and he is out of bounds, chased out by Earl Jones.
Boy, that was a great-looking play. It was a counter play from the I formation. You don't see that very often, especially on short yardage. It was a great call by Malavasi and his coaching staff. Watch it. They fake up to Gooman and they give the ball to Tyler. Tyler breaks through a tackler, pops through the hole. Good blocking, had the ball away from pressure, used his straight arm in good shape, and goes almost broke it clean for the touchdown. A great call by Ray Malavasi and his coaching staff.
Tyler's carried 6 times, 62 yards. And a first down for the Rams. They could go ahead on this drive. They trail by 6. The ball is at the 14 of Atlanta. Barber is on a wing and in motion. Jones tosses to Tyler. Gooman tries to make a block, and Tyler is taken down, and he lost a couple of yards. Joel Williams was the tackler, and Gooman couldn't clear out for him.
Well, there were 6 people out there right by the ball carrier. You had to have an awful wide stance and a lot of shoulder pads to block 6, one guy. No way. It's impossible. Great play by the Atlanta Falcons. That's one thing they do so well. Here's Malavasi again talking to Ringo and also John Hadel.
A loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. When we saw Barber in motion a while ago, I just had a hunch they might do something with him soon. He sets up on the left side. He's a horse down in close like this.
Yes, he's a good possession receiver.
2nd and 12. 3-man rush. Jones swings it out to Gerald Thomas on the screen, and he only got back to the 11-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
It's easy to see from up here, Jack, but really Thomas could have gone to the inside and made a lot more yardage on the play. Look at it. Here he makes the catch. See, and he stays outside. See the block inside by Hanna? Had he gone more inside, he had more of a chance to pick up more yardage on the play. But it's easy, again, to see that from up here and tough to do it as a runner.
It is 3rd down and 7 as a result from the 11-yard line of Atlanta. We have 2:50 left in the 3rd quarter. And Atlanta is ahead by the score of 20-14. Drew Hill comes, not Drew Hill.
We might see something to the tight end here because it...
Here's the pass play and incomplete. And Wendell Tyler was the intended receiver. He was covered heavily by Bob Glazebrook.
Yeah, he really was. They had him faded in good shape.
So it's 4th down, and the Rams are going to have to settle for a 3-point try with Mike Lansford. Pretty good. After they got the 1st down on the run by Tyler to the 14-yard line, Atlanta hung in there. Tyler lost a couple. The pass play only went to the 11. Then the incomplete pass. The ball will be held by Cromwell, and don't forget he can throw the ball. And Lansford, who is 3 out of 5 in field goal tries this year, will try a 28-yard field goal. And it is good. 28 yards by Mike Lansford. They have a couple of new kickers on this Ram team, and they're doing quite well here today. We have a different score with 2 minutes 32 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. 20-17 Atlanta. 9 plays, 53 yards, 3 minutes 45 seconds, and a 28-yard field goal. There are 20,000 plus who didn't show up for this game. There's the attendance and the no-show figure. Reggie Brown waits for the kick from Lansford. He'll return it from the 10-yard line. He's to the 20. And he comes beyond they whistle it dead at the 26-yard line. At the 26-yard line. Well, this is not all the football you're going to see today. The second game on CBS finds the 49ers 0-2 at St. Louis, 1-1. Joe Montana against the relatively new quarterback, Neil Lomax of the Cardinals. Meissner was downfield to make the Ram tackle at the 26. The Rams stopped Atlanta the last time they had the ball. Here the linebacker, Andrews, makes the other Andrews turn back inside. There's Bartkowski surveying the situation, a gain of 2 yards. Reggie Doss, Jim Collins, who's playing for the injured Eckern, there. New Orleans hangs on to that lead over Kansas City in the 4th quarter now, 17-14. We have a couple of more for you. 10-10 game, 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh and Houston going at it. And the Jets way out ahead of winless Baltimore, 34-0 3rd quarter. 2nd and 8. Andrews again. Made a good change of direction, forced inside by Fanning and came across the 30 out to the 31. These fans here in Atlanta are used to the Falcons throwing the ball on almost every down. They don't like the conservative approach. And Green Bay appears that they're going to be 3-0 when the day is over. And Minnesota will be 1-2 if they lose. They're trailing 26-7 in the 3rd quarter. Eddie Lee Ivory with a touchdown run. He's going to have a great year in the head. Especially the way they're playing him. They're not using him all the time, and they're spotting him, and he's a great running back when he's fresh and healthy. 3rd down and 6. Less than a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. 4-man rush. Good protection. Pass over the middle. Caught. 1st down with a forward progress. It is a 1st down. It was caught by Floyd Hodge. It's only a 2nd-year man, but he knew precisely where he had to go.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge.
Had a 14-0 lead. Atlanta had a 17-14 lead at the half. Atlanta 17 heading into the fourth quarter, and they're faced with second down and 8. Leroy Irvin is in the defensive backfield for Los Angeles. The ball is at the Atlanta 39.
Except for the fumble recovery by the Atlanta team, neither one of the two teams defensively have made any kind of a big play on defense, and somebody has to do that to stop the other team.
Here's Lynn Kane getting nowhere, and it's going to be third down. Reggie Doss stopped that play cold. No gain. Third down, and, well, they give me a yard, 3rd and 7. Now they move it back, 3rd and 8. On Thanksgiving, we'll see some action. The last time we saw the Giants, the curtain came down and the strike began after that Monday night game. And they're going to be traveling to the Silverdome in Detroit. After their game today, they're going to have to get ready for another in a hurry. You'll see that at 12 noon Eastern time on CBS. Third down, Bartkowski avoided the rush and hit William Andrews. How in the world did he hold onto that ball at the first down? Pat Thomas unloaded on him, and Thomas is saying, what do I have to do?
Well, the ball was thrown perfectly. Again, it was thrown right at the numbers where it had to be thrown. Watch Bartkowski. Cody Jones, number 76, getting off the ball in good shape. Youngblood gets pushed beyond the quarterback. Look at, watch where he throws the ball. Right in the traffic. It's amazing that he got through there. Pat Thomas had him covered very, very well. But it's a first down for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's happened about 5 times today when they've had great coverage, but Bartkowski has whipped them. It's a first down at the Ram 49-yard line. And a first down pass. Screen left. And this ball is going to go. It is already a first down to Riggs. And Riggs gets big yards. Gerald Riggs, the rookie out of Arizona State. He's listed at 230 pounds. He runs like he weighs 170. Nolan Cromwell tackled him, a first down at the 34 of the Rams.
It's like playing with a guard in the backfield. Watch him now. Bartkowski does a good job of acting. Cody Jones jumps a little bit prematurely, but watch him go through the hole in good shape, carrying the ball in a wrong arm. Cromwell, number 21, finally makes the tackle, but he makes a fine run on another first down for the Atlanta Falcons.
And Bartkowski got hit as he threw. That's on the last play. Boom. Now we go back to live action. It's a first down at the 35. And the tailback drives down to the 30-yard line. Running with it was Riggs. And he got a quick fire. This Bartkowski is hotter than the sheriff's pistol. He's 18 out of 23, 210 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions.
And the key is he really has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and he's throwing it precisely right most of the time.
5 yards by Gerald Riggs. What a pair that is in the backfield. Riggs and Andrews. That's the way Atlanta wanted it to end up.
Look at all the room with the outside receivers. Both defensive backs are off the ball quite a ways.
Bartkowski looking to the sideline. And the pass is caught. It's good for 4 yards. Miller, the tight end, caught it. That's the area you were looking at, isn't it, Hank?
Yes, it is. Floyd Hodge, number 83, had 1-for-1 coverage, and the defensive back was very soft. That area was soft, and they hit the soft area and picked up a nice gain on the play.
There's Coach Ray of the Falcons. He's a big part of the passing offense of this team. Couple of scores. New Orleans hangs on to their lead. 10 points over Kansas City in the fourth quarter. 24-14. And the Bears have come from behind to lead undefeated Detroit in the third quarter, 17-14. It's 3rd and 1. And it is Riggs. He gets a first down. Riggs went inside the 25 for a first down with Andrews doing the blocking for him.
Andrews really is a terrific back, not only as a runner and as a receiver, but he's a complete back, and he's an excellent blocker. Watch Andrews, number 31. Look at the leverage. Gets down there good and low. A good block by the right guard, Thielemann. But Riggs goes through the traffic in good shape and makes the necessary yardage for the first down.
At the 23 of the Rams.
We might see something right here.
A first down call. And Bartkowski gives the ball to Andrews. Starts right, goes left, and gets 4 yards. Andrews has rushed 75 yards and he's caught 7 passes.
You know what they do? They have a middle linebacker, Collins, of course, playing for Eckern, and the fullback, Andrews, is keying the middle linebacker. As he overruns the play, he cuts behind him, and that's how he's making the yardage.
14 plays in this drive for the Atlanta team. And they have 2nd down and 7 from the Rams 20. The score is Atlanta 20, the Rams 17 with 10 minutes left in the game. Eric Sanders is in at the right guard spot for the Falcons now. Here's a delay to Andrews. Look at him go! Touchdown! Touchdown! 20 yards for William Andrews. Didn't take long, did it?
Boy, what a job they did of cleaning out that area.
George Andrews, the linebacker, got one hand on him, Hank. That's all.
It was slick as a whistle. A good call by the sideline. Dick Wood, Jimmy Ray. Watch it. Draw play against the 4-3 alignment. Tackle's coming to the inside. The end is going up the field, which creates a natural cavity. He hits the hole perfectly. Goes into the end zone unmolested for the touchdown.
The extra point try will be from Luckhurst, trying to make it a 10-point Atlanta lead. Andrews has rushed for 94 yards. The extra point try is good. And a 10-point lead for the Falcons, who at one time trailed by the score of 14-0. They're trying to win their 2nd game of the year. Atlanta kept the ball for 7 minutes and 50 seconds, Hank.
That's the kind of control they like to have, and they got it on that drive. They made things happen. They did an excellent job offensively.
12 plays, 74 yards, 7 minutes, 50 seconds. Luckhurst will kick off, and Barry Redden will try to spark the Rams with his kick return. 9:42 left in the game. 10-point lead for Atlanta. Just the best kick of the day by Luckhurst. Redden will down it. Will come out to the 20.
It looked like Luckhurst has gotten confidence in the fact that the leg is not going to be a problem. He's kicking better and better as the game goes on.
Next Sunday we'll have more action, and the Cardinals come down here to Atlanta for a game, and you'll either see that one or the New Orleans at San Francisco action. It'll be interesting to see how the 49ers do today, and then they'll be playing one of their ordinary division rivals, New Orleans. Check your local listing next Sunday for the CBS action. It starts with the NFL today. The ball at the 20 for Burt Jones. And this is good for about 6 yards, and another big pop by Kuykendall and Curry. Boy, they undress people after you catch a ball in their territory.
It's amazing, and they continue to have deviated from their normal style. They continue to just rush 3 people and drop back 8. And they say, go ahead and throw the ball short. We're going to make the tackle, maybe make you cough the ball up, but that's the kind of play they're doing right now.
Hank Stram, if you were the coach for the Rams, would you change quarterbacks right now?
I don't think the quarterback has had anything to do with what's happened here. They haven't been able to stop him. The quarterback is not playing on defense, and that's where the problem has been. They just haven't had any kind of a big play on defense.
2nd down, 4.5. This one is good for a 1st down. And Jones is not throwing deep. He'll try to pick him apart right now. Goons swung out of the backfield and caught it. And he was met by Buddy Curry. Watch that play from the end zone.
You hear the expression, you take what they give you, and that's exactly what Jones is doing right now. They're giving him the short stuff. Good pass protection, only 3 men rushing. He throws over the middle to Gooman. 44 makes the catch, but that's what you have to do. You got to be patient. Throw the ball to the back and the tight end and move the ball down the field. You got plenty of time.
The tight end is Barber. They haven't used him very much. They use the other tight end Battle for a touchdown. Here's Wendell Tyler. He had to scramble to get back to the line of scrimmage. I tell you, these Falcons really go for the football.
Jeff Merrill that time got good penetration. As I mentioned earlier, you're not going to run outside if you don't block the defensive end or the linebacker on that side. If they get penetration, you're just out of business.
Don Smith was first there. Fulton Kuykendall helped out. 2nd down and 10 for the Rams. 7:45 left in the game. Falcons leading 27-17.
Somewhere along the line, I think the Rams can run a reverse when they get better field position, because those Atlanta Falcons are chasing like gangbusters. When the ball is given to a back.
They have Denard and Miller in as the wide receivers. There's a little swing pass out here, and it is caught by Barber. He really dumped as he came across the 35-yard line. And it is shy of a first down. The hit by Kuykendall. Kuykendall can really nail you. Wow.
But I tell you something, that Barber is tough. It's like hitting the telephone post. It didn't bother him. He bounced right back up and came right back in the huddle like nothing happened. Watch it. Does a good job of acting. Watch Barber make the catch. Watch him get hit here. Watch him get hit here. Bang. Look at his head go back. A beautiful tackle by Kuykendall. But watch. I don't know whether you'll see him or not, but he bounced right back up and he's ready to play.
There's a key play. 3rd and 5. 3 wide receivers with Drew Hill.
You got to throw the ball to the back or the tight end here.
And Jones throws to the sideline. Incomplete. No flag, even though Denard got tangled up. Denard got tangled up with the defensive back, Kenny Johnson, but there was no flag. Atlanta's hollering about it more than anybody. Maybe there was a flag. There was a flag go down. We didn't see it. Interference against Atlanta.
It looked like 37, Kenny Johnson.
And a first down at the...
It looked like he hit him when the ball was in the air.
Defense, number 37, first down.
He hit him when the ball was in the air, Jack, and I think it's a good call. Let's see it. You can't make contact when the ball is in the air unless it's thrown over the top so far that he's got no way to catch it. But look at the ball's in the air. He makes contact from the rear. It's a good call.
Yeah, he chased Denard off his path.
No question about it.
Well, the flag was thrown, and it is a first down at the Atlanta 34. The Rams trailing by 10.
Might see a sweep here to the right from the I formation.
And a fake reverse, and Jones runs and slides down at the 30-yard line. Safe at second base. He got some yards.
I mentioned the sweep because it looked like the outside would have been there, and had he given the ball to the reverse man, Willie Miller, it looked like he would have made a big play. Watch it.
Isn't that the way it always is? When you fake it, it would have gone had you done it.
Watch it. Watch it. Yeah, see that? It looked like it was there, but he decided to keep it. He slides into second base. Try to spike him, it looked like, Jack.
And he got wrapped in the head for all of his efforts with a knee. Thank you. Second down and 4. We have 5:40 left in the game. The Rams pretty well have to score on this drive. Jones, second down pass. Over the middle. Incomplete and almost intercepted. Curry almost walked right into the ball as he threw it way out of the reach of Barber. It'll be 3rd and 6.
It looked like he anticipated Barber continuing his pattern, but instead Barber stopped because that's where the hole was, and he threw it in front of, and it was almost intercepted, as you mentioned, by Curry, number 50.
You know, those pass plays look so smooth when they work. We forget the intricacies involved.
You're right.
The ball is at the 29-yard line of Atlanta. 3rd down and 4. It's a tough call to defense against. The give is to Tyler, sweeping. Stayed right with his interference, and he gets a first down. Let's see where they mark it. Wendell Tyler stayed right with that interference. And Tyler is slow in getting up. Let's see what kind of forward progress they give him.
They had a wing formation that time, meaning they had a player on the outside of the tight end. They had a good advantage, and they took advantage of it. And Tyler really did a good job of following his interference and getting the most out of the play that he possibly could.
That was a 3rd down play, and they're going to measure. From here, it looks like he has a first down.
They made it.
They made it. Jeff Yates was the tackler on the play as Tyler carries for a first down. He really uses those blockers, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Tyler ran down to the 24. But we only have 5 minutes and 10 seconds left, and the Rams are trailing by 10. Denard comes to the left, and Willie Miller is to the right.
If they throw the ball, they've got to throw it. They're running outside.
Here's Gerald Thomas reversing his field, running through a couple of tacklers and getting some good yards. Kuykendall caught up to the play, stopped it, along with Tom Pridemore, the free safety. Time really working against the Rams now as they trail by 10.
That was really a good call because the Atlanta Falcons had 4 people on 2 on the outside receivers. The middle was open. Look at the pursuit. He cuts behind. Curry misses the tackle, and he finally goes up the middle and makes a nice gain on the play.
He got 7, and it's 2nd down and 3. And this is incomplete. He tried to get it to Miller on that slant in. He threw that ball a little high, Henry.
Yes, that kind of a play, you got to throw out the numbers to make it a successful play. He threw it a little bit high, and Jones, number 20, who has been playing for Bobby Butler, really was on the spot and did a good job on the coverage.
The ball is at the Atlanta 16, and it's 3rd down and 3.
That kind of a pass, Jack, you must throw at the numbers or lower. You can't throw up above.
2 undefeated teams going at it. Miami leading 9-7 fourth quarter in that game at Buffalo. 3rd down. 3rd and 3.
Boy, a lot of running room on the right side, the way they're lined up.
Jones going to throw for it. Incomplete. And a nicely timed hit was made by the linebacker Kuykendall. Willie Miller complains that it was a little too soon. It's 4th down. Well, I think they can go for the field goal now or gamble on 4th down. What do you think of that defensive hit by Kuykendall? Looked good to me.
I thought it was very close, Jack. I thought the ball was in the air. It looked like he hit him a little early, very frankly.
Well, trailing by 10, this will be a critical field goal try by Lansford. Cromwell will hold the ball.
It's a good call here. They got to go for the 3 points. You got to get 3 at 7. Doesn't make any difference how you do it. You'd rather get the 7 first, but
it is no good. Hit the upright. It hit the upright. What a bad break for Lansford, and the Rams are still trail by 10. They did everything right, but he just didn't get it through there. And look at the consternation along the sideline of the Rams with 4:04 left in the game. Well, next Thursday is the holiday, and we hope that you have an enjoyable one, and we'll spend most of your time with CBS television, including the Giants at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. And at 12 noon, you'll see the action here on CBS television. The Giants and Detroit. Later, we're going to show you, when we get a chance, the play that Willie Miller complained about. Meanwhile, the ball is at the 20. The Falcons have it, and they have a 10-point lead with 4:04 left. Here is a toss to Gerald Riggs. He sneaks through for 6 yards. 6 yards for Gerald Riggs, the #1 pick out of Arizona State. Now let's watch the hit by Kuykendall on Miller and see what you think. There was no flag thrown on this.
yeah, let's see what the timing was. Remember, if he gets hit while the ball is in the air, why it's supposed to be a defensive penalty. Let's see what happens. Boy, that was awful close. I still think it was pass interference.
It was bing bang, I'll tell you that. I didn't really get a very good look at it the second time either.
It looked like he had him in the vice when the ball was coming to him. Didn't have a chance to make the catch.
That was a critical call. Subsequently, they tried the field goal and it hit the upright. The last time Atlanta had the ball, they kept it for 7 minutes and 50 seconds. They'll try to run out the clock now. A good tackle on William Andrews for no gain. They're making the hit with Reggie Doss along with Cody Jones. Now we're down to 3:05 left, and the clock is stopped by the Rams as a 3rd and 4 confronts Atlanta. So we have 3:05 left, 3rd and 4 for Atlanta when we resume. Falcons leading 27-17. Well, if Atlanta can make a first down on this play, the Rams are really going to be pinned up against the wall.
Yeah, they're going to be in serious trouble. They're in enough trouble the way it is.
It's 3rd down and 4. The ball is at the Atlanta 26-yard line. And they've had a ding-dong battle going on at Chicago, and it's tied 17-all 3rd quarter with the Lions. Riggs and Andrews are in the backfield. Tight end Miller on the right side. Bartkowski tosses to Andrews. Yep, he's got a 1st down, and down he goes. The Rams, in all 3 of their games, have been unable to stop the running.
Yeah, they haven't. The Rams have not been able to make a big play on defense, and that's really what the problem has been. They're sweeping to the left side. And they just do a good job of blocking on the left side. Watch it. Andrews, Doss gets knocked to the outside. Cromwell overruns the play. Youngblood is out of the play, and there's a big seam inside. He takes advantage of it, and another 1st down for the Atlanta Falcons. It was a big play. They had to stop him there if they were going to get back in this ball game.
Andrews has carried 19 times, 110 yards. 100 yards in a game is not unusual for him. A 1st down at their own 42. 2:15 left in the game. They'll stay on the ground, and they do. Andrews is quite sure-handed ordinarily, and he stretches out for a big gain of 6 yards, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning with Cromwell making another tackle. There is a timeout called. It's a timeout by Los Angeles, so they get this timeout. They call timeout, the Rams, and they'll get another at the 2-minute warning as they try desperately to get their ball back somehow.
That's a very good call by Malavasi and his staff. A good job because, as you mentioned, they'll get another timeout at the 2-minute warning.
And the clock will not start until the snap of the ball. Andrews is rushed for 116. He's caught 88 yards in passes, 204 yards total. And coming up next on CBS, the winless 49ers at St. Louis. The Cardinals, Hank, had a very, very busy week, and they thought a rewarding week of work getting ready for resumption of play.
Yeah, you mentioned that they worked out twice a day on a couple of occasions, and that's unusual because I think probably they were the only team that did that, and it's going to be interesting to see how they respond today.
But they gave them most of the day off yesterday. Well, it looks like Atlanta, unless they make a mistake, is in good shape here. There's Lehman Bennett. And here is a fellow who's got to be, well, he'll sleep well tonight.
Well, he said at the practice the other day, he said, if I have to play the whole game, I can play, and I'm ready. And he's a little heavier than he normally would be at this time. He's about 210. Normally he plays about 2.5 or 2.3.
About 3 of those pass receptions were on screen passes. It's 2nd down and 5. There's Andrews again. He is out beyond midfield. It'll bring about 3rd and 2, and now the 2-minute warning actually at 1:57. Jim Youngblood made that tackle. Only a minute and 57 left in this game. Looks like a long trip home for the Rams. Well, some good football the day after Thanksgiving, and it's Oklahoma at Nebraska. And they're going at it in the annual Big 8 tussle. And also the following day on Saturday, it's going to be the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And the Fighting Irish have trouble winning out there. Well, we have 1:57 left in this game. It's 3rd down and a yard and a half at the 49 of the Rams. The toss to Riggs. Andrews blocking, and Riggs fights for about a half a yard. He is apparently short of a 1st down, and it's 4th down. Mike Fanning made the stop. And Sully came up to help out from the secondary. 4th down. And 1:35 left in the game. The Falcons can afford to just keep the ball, can't they?
Yeah, I would think so, although it looks like they're going to go ahead and kick it.
Yeah, funny things happen on punts. Do you think the Rams will be coming after this one?
I think they have to, Jack. I think they have to do everything. Everybody but the coaches are going to go after this kick. They have to try to do something to make a big play.
First of all, I think Atlanta will take
this game.
Atlanta will take a 5-yard penalty. They're going to let the clock run down. Delay of game 108-107. Now they haven't stopped the game clock, so they got an extra couple of seconds by doing that. This will be the 3rd punt by Atlanta, and their rookie kicker out of Virginia Tech, Dave Smigelski, took the place of John James.
And you remember, this is a rookie kicker, and he hasn't kicked very well so far this season. he's got to be a little nervous in this situation because he's got to feel they're going to come after him and try to block this kick.
Ray Malavese's probably a little nervous too. Smigelski waits for the snap.
Here they come.
It comes from Eric Sanders, and he just did get it off. Oh, that's probably his best kick of the year. Irvin touches it. It goes into the end zone. Loose ball.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Atlanta.
Touchdown, Atlanta.
Atlanta gets a touchdown. Or is it a touchback?
No, it's a touchback. Touchback.
It's a touchback because the ball, the impetus of the ball took it into the end zone.
You're right. That's the call. It was about the 5-yard, 4-yard line.
Sanders was down there in the end zone.
That's what happened.
So it's going to be a muff, and the ball will come out to the 7-yard line. The ball was touched. Now that's the big item. Was it touched by Leroy Irvin? And it was in the field of play. Let's watch it.
Yeah, he was trying to decide whether to catch it or let it go.
The ball sailed on him a little bit.
Yes.
And then he almost let it go, which was the smart thing to do because that would have been a muff. And the ball went into the end zone, and then it was touched in the end zone, but the impetus of the ball, of the kick, took the ball in the end zone. Tunney's going, get off the field over there. He says, I know the rule, just let me take care of it. Doesn't matter much.
We have a holding penalty. A holding penalty at the line of scrimmage against Los Angeles is declined. The ball was touched by the receivers in the field of play, recovered by Atlanta in the end zone. The ball will be Atlanta's ball on the 6-yard line.
Yeah, it was touched in the field of play, and the ball goes over to Atlanta. But it is not the touchdown.
3 pages later.
It's at the 6 on the muff. You cannot advance a muff. It's not a fumble, it's a muff, and you cannot advance that ball. That's the rule. And so the ball will be at the 6 with 52 seconds left in the game. And of course, with the new system that we have and 8 teams getting into the playoffs, it may get down to the fact, Hank, the more points you have, the better your chances are of getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you can't be worrying about pouring it on. You just got to get the points because it might be a factor down the road in the playoff scheme of things.
So the muff ball at the 6-yard line, that was not a fumble, it was a muff, and you cannot advance it. Gives Atlanta the ball. Will they try to score? 52 seconds left.
Might run a sweep right.
Here they come with Riggs. Look at him go. Touchdown! Gerald Riggs gets his second touchdown of the day. Let's listen to these fans. Hank, I think we saw manifested there what we've seen all day. Missed tackles by very good tacklers such as Jim Youngblood. 7 carries, 20 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Gerald Riggs.
Here we see the replay, running outside, and Riggs, a good block there by Andrews again, a beautiful block, but Riggs just goes right through. He goes right through Youngblood. 53 carries him into the end zone for the touchdown.
Gerald Riggs out of Arizona State. He can catch the ball, too, by the way. They really like him. The extra point try, a flag goes down. The kick is good. Let's check the play. Let's check the play. They're going to take the extra point, which went through.
Try for point is successful. Number 85 defense offside will be penalized on the kickoff.
So the kickoff will come from the 40-yard line. There's a good look at Gerald Riggs. He's had a good day. He hadn't scored a touchdown in the 2 previous Atlanta games. The Falcons have doubled the score on the Rams with 45 seconds left. Once the Rams had the lead, Atlanta has outscored Los Angeles 34-3 in this game. I think there's been only 1 turnover.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the amazing thing is really that the Rams jumped off ahead 14-0, and now they're trading 34-17.
From the goal line, Barry Redden had a crease there for a moment, but finally he was stopped. He was tackled by Atlanta's That was Paul Davis, the linebacker. Coming up next on CBS television, the 49ers at St. Louis in the twilight game up there. That's next on most of these stations. Cardinals are 1-1. The 49ers are 0-2. And trying to get off the skids. Steve Bartkowski of Atlanta, 19 out of 24, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Very little pressure on him. We have 40 seconds left in the game. Drew Hill goes in motion, and Burt Jones throws outside, and it is caught beyond the 20-yard line by Gooman for modest yards, about 4 yards.
Well, the layoff didn't hurt our producer and director, Chuck Milton and Andy Kendall. We've done a great job here this afternoon.
Paul Davis made that tackle as he made it on the kickoff, and Jones on second down drills it, and that is caught for a first down. And I thought Curry was on the back of the receiver, Drew Hill. It's a first down out to the 30. We're down to only 4 seconds left. 3-2, and this one is over. And Atlanta is now 2-1, and the Rams are 0-3. They doubled the score on Los Angeles here today, 34-17. And as we mentioned earlier, a long trip home for Los Angeles. They'll go next against Kansas City in Anaheim. There's Jack Youngblood. He felt very good about this game. And there's Lehman Bennett and Ray Malaby. There's the final score. We'll have some scores and an interview when we come back. Atlanta won it 34-17. We're hopeful of having the pleasure of the company of Steve Bartkowski and William Andrews. Prior to that time, let's run through some scores for you as time permits here. I saw a final earlier of the Jets winning by the score of 37-0 over Baltimore. The Jets are 2-1. Baltimore is 0-3. And a final score, New Orleans beats Kansas City. Kansas City goes to Los Angeles next Sunday. New Orleans a winner by the score of, well, you saw the score there, and New Orleans is now 2-1. And the Steelers, trying to remain undefeated, are ahead 17-10 in the fourth quarter over Houston. And the Eagles taking it on the chin in the fourth quarter. That score is 18-7 in favor of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 1-1. Philadelphia is also 1-1. 7-7 tie, New England and Cleveland. They're in the fourth quarter. And another tie game in the third quarter with Detroit at Chicago, 17-17. After a long, hard day, 2 fine gentlemen are kind enough to join us on the sideline, Steve Bartkowski and William Andrews. Gentlemen, Hank Stram and Jack Buck up here. Steve, congratulations on the win.
Well, thanks, Hank. It's good to get back to work. I know our guys were anxious, and our offensive line came out and did a super job, and that's the key to this game, those guys in the trenches. I know William will tell you the same thing. Steve,
Talking to you yesterday out of practice, you talked about how good you felt from a throwing standpoint, and you did a lot of throwing during the course of the strike. It was very obvious. You were 19-24 for 213 yards and a touchdown, but I thought you were just super sharp and deliver some great balls.
Well, thanks, Hank. I just tried to take advantage out there of what these guys have done over the years to us, and guys were just open, and I had time to throw the football, and it makes the game pretty easy when you have things like that come together.
Steve, did you ever have a better day than you had today? You probably don't know what your final stats were. 19 out of 24, no sacks, no turnovers.
Well, Jack, again, all the credit goes to the offensive line. Those guys up front, they kept them on the line of scrimmage most of the day, and our guys ran great routes, and we had a super ground game today, and all those things coupled together, it sure makes for an easy day for the quarterback.
What about the Tiger, William Andrews? I talked to him again on the sideline the other day, and he said, I'm ready to play. I'm a little heavier than I have been, but if I have to play the whole game, I'm ready to do it, and that's exactly what you did. William, nice going.
Thanks, Hank. I'm extremely proud to be back to work also. Steve Bartkowski is a great leader that we have on offense. The offensive line did an excellent job for us today. The holes were there, and we told them prior to going into the game, all we need is a crack, and we can take it from there. And they did an excellent job of doing that.
What happened on the draw play, William? It popped wide open just like a flower.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a great call. I normally wait longer than a lot of the rest of the backs to run the draw because it's a slow play. And so I took the full effect, and when I saw it open, Gerald made a great block on the linebacker, and I saw daylight, and I just took it, and it was history after that.
William Andrews, I wanted to ask you about Gerald Riggs. You have a new partner back there. He looks like something, and the two of you ought to have a lot of fun.
Well, thanks. Gerald is going to be a great running back. I think he's going to be a great asset to our ball club. If keeping up his attitude and his hard work, I think he'd be a great one, and I'm going to give him as much encouragement as I can because I know the offensive line will. Isn't it going to be nice to get paid this week? Oh, no question. Hey, thanks, fellas.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Very much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Steve Bartkowski and William Andrews, we have some other scores for you. And that's a final now as Cleveland edges New England in the final moments by the score of 10-7. And our final score here was 34-17 after the Rams at one time led 14-0. For Hank Stram, Jack Buck saying so long. And let's give some credit to our executive producer, Terry O'Neill. Produced by Charles H. Melton III here at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta this afternoon. Andy Kindle was our director, and Mike Albanese, our associate producer, on a misty afternoon. Diana Wood, our broadcast associate, and some of the others who chipped in on the work here today as we get back to coverage of the National Football League. And most of you people will be watching the 49ers playing at St. Louis. For Hank Stram, Jack Buck, the final score, 34-17. Stay tuned for more exciting NFL action as the Cardinals take on the 49ers. Now this word from your local station.